special good night to all our viewers here on Caribbean American News Media, formerly known as Caribbean American News Network. We are here tonight. Let's get to work. There's a lot going on in the news, folks. I had my schedule for tonight, but listen to me. Every time I check information, there is more stuff coming in. People are sending stuff. I'm receiving calls. Things are happening. And so, folks, we're here tonight and we're going to spend some time on, oh my God, I don't know what to say, but there's a lot happening in the news. I just saw a new notification just got in, and we're happy that folks are sending us information. There's some that we are still trying to confirm. We have one on the Dyer Mall. We're still trying to confirm that information before we put it out there. Very serious information that I believe the opposition don't have. The some members of the SLP would have, because some of them are involved. So it is a lot, folks. And I am as tired as hell. I'm telling you, folks, there is no rest for the good. But greetings, friends. Welcome to the platform tonight. We are not going to get into a lot of stuff. When I say stuff, a lot of let's do our promotion. And this is from Lux Car Rental. They're in St. Lucia, folks. You cannot afford not to rent from Lux Rental. Such a wonderful lady. She, most of you would know who I'm not going to let you know who she is, but she's a good woman and good service. Lux Car Rental. We also spoke to you folks about another promotion that we're doing, and that is for Pearl's Passion with a Z. Folks, let me tell you something. This thing works miracle. A matter of fact, I just want to convey happy belated birthday to Pearl. All right, my friend, happy birthday to you. You're a wonderful person. Stay nice, stay sweet, stay blessed. Ay. Stay positive. Yes, happy birthday to you once again, from the folks here at Caribbean American News, our viewers and all who are involved. Folks, you need to share the live, and we want the phone lines to be hot tonight. Tonight, what we will do, let me just say it offhand, the petition that is circulating, we are going to bring it to 1,500 tonight on this platform. So that is something that we will work on tonight also. And we are going to get deep into developments in the news segment. Most of you remember, folks, by the way, how was your day? Let's hoping that you had a beautiful day. Remember, we love all of you. We do not have time tonight to give personal shout out until later in the program. So we want to bless up everybody, big up everybody who's on the platform tonight. There is no place that you should be but here on Caribbean American News Media platform. There's a lot, as I said, a lot happening in the news. I had to drink a special malt to keep me going tonight, and I forgot to bring my water. So if you see me choking, it's because I am choking on information that you, the people, sent over to me. I finally got the development arrangement for the Dyer Mall. That is something that we have here. Also, it's also being circulated on social media, and we're going to Akodia Monukai debunks the lie. Okay, all right, so let's see. I don't know where to start. That's the honest truth. So let's get into our presentation here. First of all, let's go over to this breaking news development. This just came in onto our news desk tonight. Please share the live, folks, as you join the platform. This is your one-stop for news and development. News and development, they're the things that matters to you. Again, the news that you report and we present to the people on this platform. So we're going to go into our news development, breaking news from the island of St. Lucia. We have Brother Guy Joseph got a win today, and this is not an ordinary win. It is a win for the United Workers' Party. It seems as though the United Workers' Party, they're in winning mood. And why not celebrate winning mood? All right. And it says that you folks seems to be on the winning side. Remember, this is the platform where we present the news and our opinion do matters also. All right. So we are breaking news there from St. Lucia. Court ruling. The Court of Appeal rules in favor of Guy Joseph in his defamation matter versus Miguel Favre and MBC. The court has also awarded Mr. Joseph cost on the appeal and high court fees. So there, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Brother Joseph, because he's part of our church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Greetings to you, Mr. Guy Joseph, on your battle. And always remember that the battle is not yours, but it is the Lord's. Amen. The battle is not yours. It is the Lord. And as long as you on the right track, on the side of righteousness, you will always prevail. And that is something that is guaranteed. So again, congratulations on behalf of Caribbean American Media Network. Congratulations to you, Brother Guy Joseph, on your win there at the appeal court there in St. Lucia. We know that the case was dismissed the first time, or something took place there, and Mr. Joseph appealed the ruling, and so the court sided with him in this matter versus Mr. Miguel Favre, who I believe is one of the spokesperson for the Ministry of Infrastructure. And so, and I believe transport also. All right. So here is a big lesson being sent out to persons who just say things, just repeat stuff without any substantial evidence or proof. Here, the court is ruling in favor of the Honorable Brother Guy Joseph. Congratulations again. I cannot stop saying it. And by the way, you know, it is just, we'll talk about it later on, but MBC, we spoke about them last week, and we also said that someone need to hold them accountable for what is being broadcast on their network. We said it last week, and we did not even sleep 2 nights, and here is a ruling, strong ruling for the Honorable Guy Joseph. We have a call. Let's take this call. We're taking a call early. Caller, you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Oh, so the show has started?
Yes, sir. We're live.
Okay, I'll call back.
Call back. Okay, good. All right. So there you have it. That caller will call back. Please share quickly. So there we go. There you go, folks. Guy Joseph is in the win tonight. I want to make this appeal on behalf of the citizens of St. Lucia, the roads. We have a problem with the roads. This is a road in Dennery. We spoke about it. Nothing has happened. This is a hazard. This is something that can cause the demise, the death of innocent people. So again, we are calling on the authorities, the Ministry of Transport, or whatever, whoever is responsible, please get this road fixed. Now, if you look at it carefully, there is no way in the world you can get away from the hole. So you move from one hole and you jump into the other. Tula, tupala, uka get away tusa, uka atwell tusa. So I don't know what can happen, but please give the people of Dennery some relief. You got to do that. You got to do it. I'm not sure how you sleep at night, but you got to do it. Fix this road. It's a disaster. I drove on this thing and it is a pain in the neck every time I drive on this road. It is a problem. I'm not sure why we're having these major problems with the maintenance of roads in this country. And maybe I should read you a statement. And unless the SLP will confirm to us the problem. All right, so if Mr. Stevenson King is the one responsible, I know Miguel is busy dealing with his lawsuit and his ruling and trying to figure out where he's going to get money to pay all Guy Joseph fees. Imagine you have a camera in the man's mouth, in the man's face, you're bullying the man basically. NBC, they're doing their stuff, and now guess what? Guy, they're drinking his champagne, his apple cider champagne. He's drinking his little malt and maybe eating a little goat meat. And you guys now have to go and look for more sponsors to get the monies so that you can pay Mr. Guy Joseph's legal fees. Can you imagine that, guys? The same guy that you guys don't like, you got to pay his legal fees. Ma jeme we bagay kon han. Ma jeme we a bagay kon han. Ou check li situation sa même na ni pou flush sa. Moi ni pou flush situation sa. Mama. Ça mauvais. Moi-même. Go NBC. Go boss là. Go boss là, monsieur, boss là. Ou kay di pou kade pou yon de sponsor just fini. La finish. Why me? I tell you. Moi-même, y'all have so much more to y'all have big time lawyer. I don't understand how you guys have the best lawyers around. Exo kapet tout case. From the Speaker of the House to MBC Miguel. Zon the best lawyer advisor like side. Richard said go lawyer. Ek tout case zon ni zo kapet. We say do la. Let's not start so early. Give me some breathing space, Reverend. Not so early. Not so early in the show, my show. Like, so I need to say say go lawyer. Mama, you can advise when they're in opposition. When they're in opposition, they have all legal advice. You put out money. What's here? Oi. Guess what? They erased my my laugh thing on my system, money. So that's the button we have to use tonight. Our real button gone. My friend, look it. So let's move on. Share the live, folks. I just waited for the other folks to come on. Okay, before I show you why our roads are in bad condition, and it's going to be a document that I'm reading from the SLP, all right? It's going to be a document from the SLP. Folks, I want you to remember we had a program where we had Miss Johnson, the mother of the young boy who was bullied in one of the schools, the Grand River Secondary School there in the Dennery Valley. I had a conversation with her earlier today, and what we want to do is to give you an update. She's not home, so she cannot come on the program to give us that update. But Miss Johnson spoke to me earlier today on an update on that situation. And the bad news is that no one at this time, nobody, Pearson, nobody have reached out to her. Folks, you hear what I'm saying to you? Listen to this. Miss Johnson kept her son home for 2 or so days. Nobody reached out to her to see how he's doing, why he's not at school. Nothing at all. It seems to me that the authorities are more upset with Miss Johnson because she exposed the situation in the media, especially here at Caribbean American Media Network. It seems that they are upset with her. It seems to me that way, because if there's a case of a young boy being bullied to the point where it looks like he's having problems with his hands, his movement, and the guy is suffering psychological challenges, basically, I'm sure he's afraid. And he got, we're trying to organize counseling here in the United States for him, professional counseling. But no one has reached out to this woman. You remember the tape where the guy was being abused by other young men in that school, bullied. No one has reached out to her, folks. You all heard what I'm saying? Now tonight we're going to take it easy until later on. Tonight we speak in broken English, everything, Patois, Creole, Spanish, everything tonight, because Mama Pak couldn't. I don't understand why the school authorities, the Ministry of Education, the police have not reached out to Miss Johnson. Her child stayed, Jackson, the child stayed home for 2 days. Not a call, not a call. What is going on? What is going on? That space. I'm going to call the Ministry of Education tomorrow. I'm going to call them tomorrow. I'm going to call the police station there in Grand River. Because every time somebody calls when they cannot get help from either the police or some ministerial department, then it seems that they're being bullied, they're being spited, and this got to stop. We always say here that righteousness exalts your nation. Righteousness exalts your nation. So I cannot understand. Now there's a call coming in, but okay, good. Hold a minute, let's take this call. Caller, you on the air, Caribbean American Media.
Good evening, Brother Garfield.
Good evening, my friend. How are you, my sister Jojo?
A little under the weather, but blessed.
Oh my God. Hope you feel better.
Yeah, just, sometimes, the body changes, as you get older.
It's true. It's true. But you
Let
okay.
me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. What's the lady's name?
Miss Jackson.
I hope Miss Jackson is listening to the show tonight, and she'll be listening to all the callers, including me.
Yeah.
If I was in Miss Jackson's place,
mm-hmm.
I would not bother with the school, the ministry, none of them. By now, Miss Jackson should have had a lawyer. Okay? She should have had a lawyer. And if Miss Jackson cannot afford everybody listening to Caribbean American News, let's chip in at least $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
To assist Miss Jackson in getting a lawyer. And from now on, do not take on principal, teacher, minister, ministry. If any of them come by her house, whack them. Okay? That is my humble opinion. Because if I was in Miss Jackson's place, that's exactly what I would do. And also, I would be looking for a transfer for my child, and I would remove my child from this school. Because don't tell me nobody hasn't reached out to her. The principal knows. The teachers knows. They are a bunch of vicious people, including the minister. Where is the minister from? Isn't he from that same constituency?
I believe so, yes.
Sean don't live, right? Sean don't live too far from them. And you're telling me nobody has turned to this lady? And we have and please, Brother Garfield, do not play this video tonight. Do not play the video.
No, matter of fact, the video is saved in our storage.
Right, holding there when she's going to court. Not play that because it upsets a lot of people's soul, including mine. I am saying, Miss Jackson, wake up. Find a lawyer. And make sure you get a good lawyer that will stand with you and not push you around. Because these days, everything is political in St. Lucia. that will stand with you. And people, let's start chipping in. At least if everybody donates $5, this will assist Miss Johnson if she doesn't have the funds. I'm just saying that. If she can afford it, she can come out and say she can afford. Yeah. But let's all at least $5 wherever you are. If you can give more, give more. It will be done through you, Brother Garfield, if she agrees. This is money to help Miss Johnson if she cannot afford the cost of a lawyer. Miss Johnson, wake up, stand up, and stand for your child. If I can do it in America, you can do it in St. Lucia. Because let me tell you, in America, nobody pushed me around at the school. Nobody. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I will not let the American system push me around. I know they prejudice, they racist, but let me tell you, when it comes to our school, in color, I will not let none of them push me around. I will go as far as I have to go for my child. Okay? So, Miss Johnson, wake up and smell that coffee. It's high time. You better start moving from tomorrow. And let us see. I will see who I get that's the best lawyer for you. And Miss Johnson, I will contact you through Brother Garfield. Brother Garfield, you know I keep my word.
I know.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
So we will talk to Miss Johnson. When you talk to her, we will take it from there.
No
I
problem.
wish her all the best. Okay? And I thank you.
Amen. Thank you, caller. Appreciate it. That's our friend Jojo from Texas. And wow, friends, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore with our system, especially when it comes to protecting our children in the schools. It is one thing to have, send your child to school expecting them to be protected. And if there's anything that goes wrong, you would expect that, there will be swift action in order to bring some relief to the family. But here is a situation, friends, that is non-political. It is not political. Here is a situation where a child was bullied at the school and the authorities are yet to have follow-ups with this family. Now, as I told the mother today, the child needs to speak to a psychologist. That child would have a problem going forward in learning. And what we try to do, friends, is to avoid that child turning to gangs or other means for protection, because most of these children, and I have said it over and over, when they are bullied in the schools, and there is this fear that some of those children develops, and therefore the gang leaders comes in and offer them that type of shield and protection. And therefore, here is another person that we do not want to end up in the hands of gang leaders. We want to save our young generation. We want to save our young people. We want to save the future of the nation. And therefore, you would expect that the teachers, those in authorities, the ministry, the minister of education, the ministry, the education officer for the area, the police, that all of these guys would have follow-ups. And I found out that the counselors that are at the schools are not really counselors. They're not really counselors. They can't deal with these traumatic experiences that children and young people go through. They're more like career stuff, counselors. And it is sad that at this point, that there is no help, that she have received no help at all from the authorities there. And I'm calling on the Ministry of Health to step in. And you as the minister, you bypass whatever you need to bypass and help this woman. She's from your community. It is not political. This is a non-political situation that must be dealt with urgently, because if the mother, got up in the morning and felt that, look, man, I'm tired of this thing, I'm going to find these boys and I'm going to do something, then guess what? The police would act immediately. The police would come immediately to get her. So our education system have been failing our young people, and they're still failing our education system. They're still operating in 1932. We have passed that era. We are past that era. And I believe it is time for something to happen there. We're going to keep, our eyes on this situation. And the other question I have is, where are all these lawyers in the country? These lawyers don't do charitable work. They do nothing pro bono. Where are all these lawyers to step in and help mothers like these who are in distress? Where are the legal representation in the country? Is it all about money at all times? Is it all about money? I'm just asking because I'm concerned about that. All right. Now, there's a petition that is circulating. And I'm putting it on the screen. You got to sign this petition, folks. We got to get it to at least 1,500 tonight. So please, I need somebody to monitor this petition. I'm going to ask you, you don't have to interrupt right now the live, but I want you to sign the petition. It's on the screen. It is being circulated on WhatsApp right now. It has at least 859. It should be 860 by now. Sign the petition. All right? Okay, good. So let's get into business now. The Dyer Mall situation. Now, many of you would have heard of this Dyer Mall drama. Now, the drama is not on the United Workers' Party side based on my reading. I have the entire agreement here. And I'm not going to do like what some people do on the opposite side. Shake the first part and shake the signature part in your eyes. Now, I saw this signature part on one program, and I saw the front on a program. Now, I have a lot of writing on mine because I'm going through it still. All right? I'm going through this Dyer Mall situation. But let's go to the screen, folks, and we're going to go through this situation here with the old Dyer Mall. Most of you would have seen this building as an eyesore, place of mosquitoes, rats, and all sorts of stuff. That building was compromised. It was no good. Bought by the government of St. Lucia. I believe it was purchased between Mr. Stevenson King 2008, 2009, and the former Prime Minister, Mr. Kenny Anthony. And so I remember this discussion as a younger boy growing up on the island, where people were talking about this mall, and the government wasted money and they bought a mall. I heard that story in the news at the time, but never paid attention. I would drive by that thing. I drove by sometimes 5-6 times for the day or more, watching the eyesore. The front of that mall, that building was there was a red design, curved design. I remember it like yesterday. It was ugly. It was a mess. Yes. And it was an eyesore, and it was just it was looking bad in the area there. All right, where you have tourists passing. So the Honorable Chasney, Alan Chasney, had a development agreement that was dated the 27th of February 2020. All right, And that was between the Amazona property, which is, this is the government, this is government actually, Amazona Properties Limited. And you also have the Orange Grove Plaza Limited. All right? Good. So the building was bought. Mr. Chasney saw, he looked at the property, realizing that, look, this can benefit the people of St. Lucia. And we are not willing to put up front the monies to get this eyesore out of the place. To demolish it, you will only have lands. You'll just have a piece of land sitting there, maybe 5 acres or more, sitting there. So the man decided, look, man, let's go into some negotiations, discussions, consultation to see how we can get the best out of this property. Now remember, after all these years, the building was just sitting there, failed project by the original owners, failed project. The SLP showed no plans for its development. Never in the manifesto, I have not seen it. No plans at all. Okay, so Chasney came in 2020, and that was February 27th. Entered into an agreement for the construction of a complex on the property. Now remember, the government up front, they are not putting out a dollar. They're not putting out any money. They're already counting their losses at the beginning. Bought the property. At the time, the old building had some worth on it. It had some worth. Now, after all these years, you have a building that needs to be demolished in order to get something up there. So half of the property or some parts of the property had to be demolished, and correction in some areas on the rest of the building had to be done, amounting to millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars that the government, they were wary of putting out more money in the process. And so the best agreement they had was to spend about 32 million EC, 13 million, sell the building, the property, 13 million, 32,000, I believe, US dollars, EC dollars, $32 million, folks. Now, I'll tell you, if you buy a plywood house in 2009 and you have done no repairs to that property up to 2020, then I believe if you bought that plywood house or structure for $10,000, you are not going to get $10,000 for that plywood structure. Because you will have to maybe demolish the entire thing and build a brand new house. So you're not paying really not for nothing, but you get a little $5,000 or $4,000 from the whatever is left of the junk. The rest need to be taken to the garbage dump. Ain't much you can do there. Here's an agreement where a company, and I'll name the company very soon. I believe it's the Orange Grove Plaza Limited coming in and say, look, we can do something with this building that all of us would be happy, because you do not go as an investor into anything unless you are going to, one, recover all your investment and make a little profit from it. Now remember that the government is putting out nothing in order to get those repairs done. Before we go in, right, let me show you something. Let's do the slideshow and then we will get back to the discussion. I don't know how many of you have passed this mall. You have seen the Dyer Mall situation there. But let's, first of all, let's skip the schedule. UWP schedule, and let's look at this. Now, this is what you have up there right now. Dia Mall. Lots of parking. Lots of parking. It's a big building, massive building. Not only did the developing company repair the old structure, they added a massive piece of a massive building on the front part of the 5 acres of land. Massive structure. Now, the SLP would consider this to be a box. Would you agree with me? Yes. But the truth is, it is a box. All construction is a box. Most constructions now, they're box. So there's nothing bad in calling this a beautiful box. All right? And the most beautiful packages come in box from Amazon or from your favorite retailer online. I am sure of that. But let's continue. Let's go ahead. So let's look at the Dia Mall project. The development agreement and the outline. We have those with us tonight. Here is the building it is called the Orange Grove Plaza. For those of you who have not come back to St. Lucia to see it, and you might be in foreign land just talking things that you don't know, or you're just reading the front of a paper and the back of it, and you leave clause 6 out of the deal, you cannot read the development plan and leave clause 6 out, because clause 6 is where the icing on the cake is. So you will read everything else. Let me just bring you to my vision. You will read everything else in the agreement and leave out clause 6. And it sounds like, oh, it is a bad deal because the government is losing. We give away our property and we will not get it back. We give away our lands. We give away our building. We give away everything. That's if you read the development agreement and you leave clause 6 out. And I will go later on, we will go through clause 6 and we will see whether it's a bad deal or a good deal. You decide, the people on this platform. So remember, we had an old building, rat infested, falling apart, worth nothing really. And here now we have a beautiful structure. And I'll tell you something about the ownership of this structure that you were not told. I'm going to go through something with you, and I'm trying to take my time so that everybody can understand, even the hacks who pretends like they don't want to understand will understand this deal when we finish in our presentation. And remember, anybody wants to call and have an input while we're doing this, you feel free to do so. 929-586-1821. All right? So here we go. You know, the project, you know, the presenter some months ago showed the front part of the document, the end, and he says to you, oh, it's a bad deal. Oh, you would make a deal like this. Who would make a deal like this? You got to be a fool to make a deal like this. I say you got to be a fool not to make a deal like this. Because if I have a piece of land with an old house on it and you come from overseas and you say to me, boy, I got to build a mansion, a castle on this property. You don't put out any money. Just sign, give me the deed so that I can secure the monies from the banks, because you can't get money for a project that you don't have documents for. So I would say, look, I'm going to sign off this document, but in that clause, in that agreement, I am going to put clause 6 to ensure that that property gets back into my hands. Yes, sir. Spend all your money to fix it. I can rent the first floor. I can rent the best room in it. You want $200 a day? Fine. I will pay it, because I know at the end of the day, my children, my grandchildren And even myself, if I live long enough, would look back and say, this is my property. This is our property. We put not a dollar out really up front, but we will pay you back. We will rent for 10 years. We'll rent for 5 years at $2 a day, $200 a day. And when we are satisfied that you have gotten all your monies back from your investment, then you will hand over our property back to our family. That's a beautiful deal, folks. Put yourself in that position. Think about it. Now think about also you have some crooked uncle of yours. Uncle that maybe cuckoo, lose a little screw. He lose a little screw and he comes screaming, oh, you give away, uncle, you give away our family property. Oh, you fool, you give it away. Oh, you give it away for cheap. Oh, my father paid so much money. And then he gone cussing you off. Then he goes on TV. That's your uncle now. Remember? So uncle takes the first part of the agreement and the second part of the agreement because uncle wants you to look so bad, look like an idiot. And uncle say, look. I have the proof. Here's the signature. Look, I have the proof. And look the date. February 20th, 2020. And uncle running out of breath as usual. And you now sit down because you understand the deal and you're like, but uncle, you're forgetting clause 6, uncle. Did you read clause 6, uncle? And uncle just keeps shouting, no. Yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. And before you know it, the other family members get confused and they start cussing you off about your bad deal. But let's go on. I just wanted to explain it so you, my friends, can understand it together with our hacks. Okay? By the way, welcome to all hackalacks who are on the program tonight. Welcome to the platform.
Welcome to Caribbean American News.
Good. Thank you, my daughter. Let's go back to the slides. Stay tuned, friends. Brethren, look at this property. Monsieur, y'all understand what you all have here? Monsieur, look at the property. Look at the community. Grosile now is looking, this area here. Okay, so we're getting a call. Let's take the call. Caller, you're on the Air Caribbean American News Media.
I'm trying to get the link to the show. Where is it?
You'll have to go to Caribbean American News Media on
Okay.
Facebook. Yes. Okay then. Folks, yes, thank you. So the number to call is 929-586-1821. I saw some other calls coming in from our other line, but the number to call is 929-586-1821. You can call via WhatsApp. So let's go back to the deal. Brethren, look at this property. Now remember, your uncle, your uncle who is on Facebook keeping a whole set of noise with the first part of the agreement and the second part of the agreement have caused many hacks to conclude that this was not an honorable deal. It was not a good deal. It's not a good deal for you, the people of this country. But if you had given your uncle the opportunity to make the deal, your uncle would have accepted the very deal, because it is your same uncle who under his supervision sold prime lands under price in Castries by the waterfront. Now that we consider to be a bad deal, and that's why we're asking questions. So your uncle might be misleading you, my honorable family members. So let's go through the deal. For those of you who understand who our uncle is, let's go through the deal. Let's go back to the mall. Brethren, this deal it is something to behold. You see this property, brethren? Now, thank God that it is not the government supervising this project, because it would have turned out just like St. Jude's. So these men, some of these men, especially maybe uncle, because they cannot get anything out from this project, you are agi. They vex. Huh? Could it be that uncle wanted the land? Could it be that uncle had his eyes on the property? I'm just saying, I'm not asking. Now, uncle, don't come for me. Don't come for me, uncle. We're just asking questions. Could it be? Could it be that uncle is so wage and fâché at the same time that uncle cannot get his head around how in the world Mr. Shastney can make such a good deal? How in the world can the Honorable Shastney come up with such an agreement for such a beautiful building like that? Now, let me tell you all something. If you guys had allowed Shastney to finish that hospital in Vieux Fort, this is exactly what you would have gotten. A state-of-the-art building with a helicopter pad on the top of it. And I'm sure Uncle Shas would have spoken to some friend of his or some other government to give us a medical helicopter to put on top of that thing for the dedication. You see, with Shastney don't just dedicate buildings, put a name on it and close it down. No, he don't do that if you follow him carefully. If you follow him carefully, I'm going to repeat it. He is not like, all right, I didn't press the button because I'm trying to be nice to uncle, because uncle is grumpy. And I think uncle is getting old. That's why he's so grumpy. Good. So, but let we go on. I'm just asking the questions. But I'll tell you, and I'm repeating myself, if we, the citizens, had given the Honorable Alan Shastney the opportunity to finish this hospital at Vieux Fort, you would have gotten the same result. And the airport. Why? Because he is a visionary man and he looks beyond the now. That's what we need in St. Lucia and in the Caribbean and in our world, that you look beyond the now. And you build for a very long time. So when you get into other centuries, you would have been sitting on a building that can fit in nicely. You know, like some of you you're having a party or some function, you go and buy some old ugly dress just for one night. Because you're thinking about the now. But you're not thinking about other events that you might have to wear that same dress to. Maybe you can just put a little bow around it to change how it look. Or you might cut off a little hole in the side or not. You know how you design things nicely. So you buy for now and not for the future. Just like you build your house for now with 2 sheets of plywood, and then when the rain comes after 2 years, you got to go and buy other plywood, take all the old plywood, put back plywood, take all plywood, put back plywood. And that's why you have concessions so that you can have plywood soup. But let me go back to the slide and stay on point. Let's go back on point. I know Uncle is, Doris, I know Uncle is fragile and very moody and touchy. And if he cannot get his cup of Shastney for the night or the day, he can rage. Where? Good. So let's go on. We don't call names here on Caribbean American News. We don't call people names, but we stick on the issues. Uncle could be anybody. All right? Yeah, wink, wink. Let's go back to the deal, folks. All right? Look at this. Look at this. And while you're looking at it, I want you to picture St. Jude's in Vieux-Fort. Oh, my Lord. Look at the real picture here. Y'all see this, folks? Look at this. Brethren, these are fresh pictures off of the press. Compliments one of our favorite viewers. And I got some too myself. But imagine from the time I went to St. Lucia to now, these guys did so much work within 4 weeks that the signs are placed on the building. Now, while I was there, the signs were not. I'm going to put back the building. Brethren, Zowesa. This is, and I'll tell you why you should get excited about it. Listen. That's why I tell you all already. When people keep in noise, don't worry with them. Just get them chicken soup. And some dry coconuts. Get them dry coconuts with sugar. Although, that tastes good. Dry coconut and sugar. Yeah. Yes, man. Brethren, I ain't finished yet. The deal, we got to discuss the deal. We showing you the building. Oh, no. That one is not in the building. Don't worry. That's what different. But let's go on the deal. Let's go on this. Let's talk about this. So, there's an agreement that was entered on by the government of St. Lucia in 2020. We spoke about it. All right? Now, during that period of time, between 2008, I believe, and 2009, we had Stephenson King as the Prime Minister in 2008. And I believe in some parts, some of you need to help me, some parts of 2009. And so Mr. Stephenson King, in 2009, was defeated by Kenny Anthony, the SLP, the St. Lucia Labour Party government. Took over from Mr. Stephenson King. And here, let me just read something to you. Why they took over from Stephenson King. And we'll talk about this building. We're still on the building, right? Just something while I was doing my research came to my attention. Now, remember, we're talking about Stephenson King, who did not have a plan for this building. It's the truth. Neither did Stephenson King, neither did the SLP. And guess what? Some forces brought both of them together. Stephenson King and the SLP brought them together. But here is what, before we get there to them coming together, and this is a factual show, so bear with me. It might be boring, but stick with me. We have some serious facts coming out. So, here is what happened to the Stephenson King, to Stephenson King's leadership, and what the SLP did to him during that period of time. Now let's just shift to the roads. I'll show you why the roads are how they are. And I will show you why Mr. King is complaining about his dissatisfaction with the Millennium Highway project. Just like any other project that he's been in charge of. A matter of fact, St. Lucia was a whole project that he was on. Yes, he was the Prime Minister of the whole of St. Lucia. So that was a project that the SLP really came down on him on. Let's speak about it. So in 2008, the PM was Stephenson King. He endured a whole year of political turmoil as the SLP, then opposition, repeatedly called for his resignation on the grounds of ineffective and incompetent leadership. Now, this is 2008, and this is what the SLP, these were the charges led by Kenny Anthony and Philip J. against Mr. Stevenson King during the year 2008, because I believe it was an election year, and they were threatening to strike because at the time the same SLP government believed that he was ineffective, couldn't get anything together. A matter of fact, he reshuffled his cabinet twice. Twice, Mr. King reshuffled his cabinet. And the charge against him, why he should resign, was he was incompetent and he was ineffective. His leadership was incompetent and ineffective. That was the charge of the SLP in 2008. Now, SLP, we're here to let you know that all of us believe you now. All right? We believe you now. Now that he's with you guys, we believe everything that you said about him. If he was on our side, we wouldn't believe it. We would still defend his laziness. We will still defend him eating everything in the house and leaving nothing for Mr. Shastney and the other members to eat. We will believe everything you say, that he sleeps on every project. Well, no, we would not believe that. We would just cover it up. But you SLP have that same individual as infrastructure minister, and guess what? You were right. You were right.
How you mean what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Mr. Speaker, I realize for a long time you want to be part of the debate. Since when that's your role? Since when that's your role?
So yes, I coming back to the mall. I just coming there to build a case, you know. So you guys were right. And we believe you now. He's not with us. That's just politics, friends. We believe when we want to believe. But you guys will tell the truth. You guys have never been so holier than when you were criticizing him. Yeah? Look at the roads now. Same ministry with that he carried with Mr. Shastney. But thank God you had a man that just won a lawsuit, Mr. Guy Joseph, who had to do a lot of the projects to save the government and the people of St. Lucia. You had this brother traveling without telling his own people that he's not an island. This brother coming just to eat all the food, eat all the chicken downstairs Parliament, and leave kwas for the rest of the members. Yo paray fache bou. See, Motela, honestly, I tell you, let me tell you something. If I was in the cabinet of Alan Shastney and we were in budget debating, and I know you just eat all the chicken, I was taking a bathroom break in the middle of the debate. Moteka I had 2 chicken la ek rice la. Now I wipe in my mouth and I go back up and sit down in the debate. Ik na veo. Now we tell me, lo well up on the chicken and rice and green fig. Well, that's what I hear they're serving now, green fig. But the guy might toot my yellow. Well, anyway, let me go back. So yes, they said that he is an ineffective and incompetent leader. And guess what? The SLP had planned to strike. They placed so much pressure that there's a guy, I have his name somewhere. He had to resign. The pressure, and me tell you something, during that period of time, the SLP put some pressure on the UWP. They put some pressure on him. You hear me? These guys were brutal to Mr. King. Well, these guys are like priests, you know. They have a way of making you nice and holy, make you look like St. Paul and St. John. Because right now it's St. John and St. Paul they have. and almost St. Barnabas, the Speaker of the House. A host of the saints, them fellas turned them fellas in. So, I don't know what to say, but we believe them, right, brethren? We believe them. We can see it now. Roads are falling apart. And look, the same thing is happening. The man is complaining about the Millennium Highway. Complaining. But let me go back to the deal. I just wanted to get it out of the way quickly as I'm going to put away page 1. The one that our was waving. All right, so we're going to put that away. Good. So, yes. So that is out. Let's go to... So we said in 2008, 2009, we had the Prime Minister then under these sales. I believe it's between Mr. I just called the brother name, Mr. King, Steve King, and Mr. Kenny Anthony. All right. So there's a matter of fact, Amazona Properties. When you hear Amazona, you talk about the government. All right. Good. Okay, there's some stuff there. So we had the deed of sale dated the 14th of January 2009. It was registered as instrument number 23772009 on the 26th of May 2009. All right? So that's the instrument number, and it was actually registered during that time. All right? Good. So the whole property comprised both land and building thereof. The entire property that you see there was not only the building that was being sold, but you had the lands also that would have because you will need parking. If you're going to have a big plaza there, you would need a lot of parking, and I think that's one of the requirements that when you're building, you must build with parking spots. So we had the whole property. The building comprised the ground floor, the leased area, and basement. Some little birdie told me that there is a nice holding room in the basement called a cell. I hope Johnny don't end up there. All right? Good. So the building comprised the ground floor, the leased area, and the basement. So here we have Amazona had expressed the intention to complete the building and surrounding car park and other outdoor areas, including landscaping thereof, called the development, and more particularly described in the second schedule there too. All right? So Amazona agreed to enter into this agreement with the developer for the execution of the development subject to the terms and conditions thereof set out in the agreement and the satisfaction of the condition President set out therein. So there is the agreement between the Amazona and the developer. Okay, an agreement that the developer would develop the property. Okay, he would develop the property. All right. So we have on page 3 the agreement. And first of all, they explain to you the terms that are used, terminology, the terms that are used. There's an explanation. First of all, like the building, because you need to understand when you see certain terms in an agreement, the meaning of it, and it's explained. The explanation is there in any agreement that you were to go into. So one, you have like the building, for instance, you have the building, which means the building means the unfinished structure. Building, the unfinished structure, not the parking lot. The unfinished structure, which was the old building that you guys would see hanging around there with the red thing circled around it. Those of you who lived there long enough, the eyesore. That's just an example. We're not going to go through everything, all right? Because we want to take your calls. Stick with me, folks. Some people don't like, information. They like Roro. No Roro tonight, brethren. All right? So we have the $5 million deal that's US that was involved there in that agreement. Let's go on. We have maintenance and we have the rent. The rent is something that caught my eyes. Now, the government got the building, gave the developer to develop the building, and then the government made an agreement that they will lease parts of the property to house government buildings. Organizations, ministries would be placed, and there's a courthouse that is going to be added also to that place, that property. But the government would lease one of the floors for EC $3 a square foot. Now, you need to pay attention to the $3 a square foot, brethren. And I'll tell you why. Because the government pays $7 for a square foot of rental right now. I'm going to say it again. The government pays right now $7 a square foot. Not your foot, if it's square. For the building. Square foot, sorry. Not your foot. Uncle foot. Because Uncle Foot looks square the way he's talking, honestly. $3, friends, a square foot. Now, that is a savings for government, isn't it not? Talk to me, friends. Talk to me. Now, this $3 a square foot for 15 years, it's a lease. The agreement is what you call a lease to own. Now, remember, it was a government building, and they went into an arrangement so that they can get the structure developed. They don't have much sweating to do because they are already paying $7 a square foot to house government buildings on the island. So now there's a reduction to $3. Now, if you have, those of you with your fingers, except Uncle, those of you with your fingers, please put up 7, 5, 6, 7. So let's do some maths, children and Uncle. If you take $3, take 2 fingers down, take an extra one down, that's 3. If you take 3 from 7, how much do you have? Come on, children. You have 4. So the government is saving $4 per square foot for rent. Uncle, you can put your foot down now. I think you were counting with your foot. You're missing a toe or something, Uncle? You got to take care of your health, Uncle. So let's go back to the deal. So $3 from 7 will leave us with $4 savings. $4. 15 years. Now think about it, that some of those buildings, government properties, that government agencies that are renting, they are now moving into the mall and they are saving. They are saving. The government will save $4. Now remember, Uncle said that it is not a good deal. All right, remember that. I hope I'm making sense to you folks. So let's move on. So we have already cleared the air on what the government is paying right now in rent, $7 a square foot. I am not sure if Uncle told you guys that. Here is, let's go to page 6. I believe that's clause 4. I'm sure that's what it is. But let's go. Some of you don't know what is clause, so let's just go on to page 6. So here's what it says here. The developer shall insure the building. Now remember who the developer is. The developer, well, right now let's call the developer Orange Grove Plaza. Okay? So here is it. The developer shall insure the building for the full commercial value thereof, both during construction and thereafter until such time as the lease area has been reconveyed to Amazona in accordance with clause 6 hereunder. Now, what is that? Something is going on here. So this is the insurance they're asking them to insure the building to the full value of the property. That property is now worth more than you can even think of. Think about it. But something surprisingly here in what I just read, it says that until such time as the lease area is reconveyed to Amazona, which is the government of St. Lucia, in accordance to clause 6. Wait a minute. Clause 6? We got to look at clause 6. Uncle, where's Uncle? Somebody call Uncle. Clause 6. Reconveyed? In other words, when the lease is over, the leased area is over, it shall be transferred back. Did anyone hear Uncle saying that in reading the documents? Come on, let's talk. So there's a clause 6, which means that we now need to get to clause 6 that apparently got missing in the debate. Now, let me bring you all back to the Speaker of the House, and I'll show you why he must resign immediately effective now. I'll show you why. I'll show you why. Now, Uncle has a lot of nice words, big words, sweet words that confuses the ignorance of the ignorant and the hackers, the hackalacks. Stick with me. Now, this document is available for Tutmun Tutbagay, everybody. Hackalacks, non-hackalacks. Everybody. Huh? Good. Anybody need a copy? Call me and I send it to you, including the hackalaxas. Okay? Let's go on. So, surprisingly, Mr. Speaker, at a debate in the House, corrected the Honorable Alan Shastney in one of his presentations when Mr. Shastney said to him that the building will return to the government of St. Lucia, and the property is basically, there's an agreement where it remains the property of the government of St. Lucia after the period of leasing is over. The Speaker said, no. Honorable member, I will have to correct you on this one. I have the document here. By then, Poor uncle took a document to the Speaker and said, look the document, Mr. Speaker. I submitted for the records of the House. What the member is saying is he's lying. The Honorable Shastney is a liar. There is no such agreement. He's a liar. Some of you started questioning, Mr. Shastney, the Speaker, they let the documents. Mr. Shastney, we think you might be lying, We kind of believe them now, too. When they told you all Stevenson King wasn't good, y'all didn't believe them. That's our hand point. Let's go on then. So I'll tell you why the Speaker must resign. Because the Speaker is getting involved in debates that he should not get involved in. In other words, the Speaker is interfering in the members' freedom to debate. He is inserting himself in the debate, and he's not an expert on anything that they discuss. He's surely not an expert on buying property, because I'm not sure that he have 5 acres or 4 acres of land anyway. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm asking the questions. Why me? Yes, take what I just said with a pinch of salt. But the question again is, why did not the Speaker of the House allow Mr. Shastney to continue to explain, saying that he was the Prime Minister who entered into the deal with the Orange Grove Plaza people, the developer, based on the agreement here, the development agreement. So let's just pause for the question. Why? My question is, why would the Speaker try to assist Uncle in calling the Honorable Alan Shastney a liar, when he, Uncle, was peddling half truth? Now, half truth is a whole lie. I don't even know how to say half truth, because if you're hiding information, then you are misleading people. If you're telling people what you want them to know, just giving them a piece of a document, that is a lie. Ain't no half truth. You tell the truth when you speak on the document at hand. I understand. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Why in the world would you not read Clause 6 to the people of St. Lucia in your discussions? Why? Because for me, I would think, I don't know, but I'm just asking, do you think that Uncle wanted to get as much mileage, negative mileage on this deal as possible? Because remember, Uncle's target is the Honorable Alan Shastney. Remember that. So anything Mr. Shastney touches, Uncle is going to try to get some negative mileage on it. Remember that. I'm not afraid of Uncle, because Uncle, as I said this morning, is just mortal flesh. Mortal flesh. And who we should fear is the man Christ Jesus, the one who can destroy both body and soul. So I'm just saying, I'm not afraid of Uncle or anybody else. I'm afraid of God. I'm not even afraid of him because he's my Father, my Heavenly Father. But let's go forward, all right? Let's finish this. Let's look at Clause 9. So I have Clause 9 here, okay? Let's look at Clause 9. So I'm going to just read through quickly like a madman, like Uncle, and you'll get the gist or the drift of Uncle's crooked foot. All right? So here, expiration of the lease, and this is Clause 6, page 7. On expiration of the lease provided that there are no defaults by the government of St. Lucia. Now remember, or Amazona represents the government, all right? So when you hear government, or when you see the GOSL, government of St. Lucia, or Amazona in the document here, it's referring to one of the same, the government of St. Lucia. Okay? Let's just say that Amazon is the agent or whatever it is. You know, you have a management company or whatever it is, real estate company managing the affairs, whatever it is. Let's just say that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but let's look at it that way. So they're operating on behalf of the government of St. Lucia. All right? So Amazon under the previous lease or this agreement, respectively. So on expiration of the lease provided that there are no defaults by the government or Amazona under the provisions of the lease of this agreement, respectfully, or any outstanding sums owed to the developer in relations to rent or otherwise. Now, if the government pays their rent on time, not really on time, but pay off all their rents, they're not owing the developer anything in relations to rent or otherwise, whatever agreement they have. If all is well with the agreement, and I don't see why all will not be well, because it's a sweetheart deal for the government. It is a sweetheart deal for any human being. Okay? Sweetheart deal. Because let's say you buy the building, you get a bad deal, you run into a bad deal, you could not get the development, people do lose money in their developmental plans. You lose money in the purchasing sometimes of properties. You think you're getting one thing, you get something else and stuff like that. Like when we bought this house, the boiler, I didn't realize it did not have a shut-off valve. That was a loss for us. We did not know that. We did not know some parts of the roof that the guys just put down tiles just to cover it. Like 5 different layers of roofing on our roof. We had to take everything off. Yes, it was a messed up deal. So sometimes you do have those deals and you have to make the correction. Here the government in the purchasing of the property went into some problems, and here comes the savior, Alan Chastney, of the property. And today we have a beautiful mall, but I'm going to go through clause 9 still. We have this beautiful mall to talk about. Oh, my friends. I think they need to put Mr. Chastney's name and his picture on it. Well, I'm just kidding. Some of you will go mad. They're going mad. But that's okay. That was the intention of that joke. Let's go back to the arrangement. So we said, like, if everything goes well with paying the rent and otherwise, the developer shall retransfer all its rights, title, and interest in the leased area to Amazona, including provisions permitting Amazona the exclusive use of the 50 car parking space as well. Where, uncle? So, uncle, you all right there? You all right? Somebody check on uncle for me. Somebody said to me, oh, you know, uncle is always showing all his evidence and papers. Why me? I don't know. Somebody check on uncle there. Somebody see if uncle is okay. Philip J. check on uncle, oh. Because the reason why I'm saying that, you should check on the speaker too, because he should be resigning soon. Right now, the speaker should be up fixing his resignation letter. And uncle should be drinking something. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Drinking something. Drinking something for the migraine. Don't drink kerosene, you know, uncle. That's not good for headaches. Kerosene? No, uncle, don't do that. So let's look at this carefully. So the previous owner. So one, we had the government owning, they transfer the rights to the developer. After 15 years, the developer now remember the government is leasing some of the floors for their properties for government services. Remember, we have government buildings all over the place, people renting a little corner here. And let me tell you something, Miss Virginia Albert, or Miss Virginia, whatever your name is, the woman who's responsible for the passports. If I were you, I would celebrate this building, because we can ask Amazon or the Orange Grove to give us a room up there to issue our passports to our citizens in comfort. Because if the citizens of St. Lucia, if we put the passport office up there, we are saving lease money. We are saving ourselves mold and all nonsense, and we are also saving our citizens from standing in long lines outside of buildings in the rain, early morning, standing up, holding space, just to be told that we already have 50 people, and all these people who are left behind, like Pentecostals or Anglicans, have to go all the way back to Dennery or all the way back to Vieux Fort because the 50 people, they're not part of it. So if I was Miss Virginia, I would thank Mr. Shastney for his vision. And I would ask the developing company and the government if they can find a space, even though it's in the basement by the jail, but if they can find a space in this building to accommodate our citizens and our passport issuing process. I just wanted to say to Miss, she went on KKRR Live and she tried to mess up Mr. Shastney by saying that he don't talk to them, he just pass them in the lunchroom, blah, 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 he have no respect for them. Listen to me, you all have no respect for him in the house. Every time you guys meet is to prick him and to cuss him off and to humiliate him. I am coming in lunchroom to eat with you all and talk to you all. The man is not a priest, the man is not a pastor. So after y'all cuss me off upstairs in the public domain, look, the speaker almost locked me up, not almost, locked me up, hold me beyond my will. After the man did that to me upstairs and you all called me a liar at every opportunity, I must come in the lunch room and hug you guys and kiss you all like we are friends, like that? And you humiliated me upstairs on national television. Your own presenter on NTN, every opportunity you get, you can foot him picker. And I have to come down and eat with you guys. Stevenson King is there. I have to come and greet him and eat with him too. Uncle is there too. And you coming on, you have no shame to come to complain that he does not talk to you guys. He don't greet you all. My man. Anyway, let's finish our clause 9 because right now I there losing some brain cells. Next thing you all start calling me uncle too. But I swear. So here is the lease agreement that was left out of the discussion. And you know when I called Mr. Shastney the last time to ask him about this, very same thing he was telling me. The man know the deal from his head. From his head, he knows that deal. Can you imagine all those social media commentators that took the lies and run with it talking garbage? You know how much eggs they have on their face now? That the real deal is on social media for all to see? You know the amount of eggs because they say he's a liar, he a bad deal, and he took our money, he gave it to his friends. So, it shares the developer shall retransfer, send back ownership to the government. Send back the ownership to the government. All its rights, including the title. When you have the title of your land, it is yours. Well, we're still fighting on getting the title for the, what you call that thing, the Land Rover. We're still trying to get confirmation there on that Land Rover thing. But in this case, we will know who the rightful owner is because it's going to be transferred. What did I say, folks? Listen to me. You're all in class. It's going to be transferred back to who? You, the people of St. Lucia. Guess what? You did not have to go and look for loans to develop it. Huh? Did you? No. No. All you had to do was to lease the property, some parts of it, because the bottom floor is sold. Huh? So you leasing upstairs And you're leasing it with the intention of taking back ownership. It is something we call in the United States rent to own. But in this case, the government of St. Lucia's case, it is a sweeter deal. Why? Because there was no building for you to lease from. There was absolutely nothing. What you all going to do? Put a tent? Like it's crusade you all having? All of you 7 days now? All of a sudden, all of your 7-day Adventists, you're going to have business on the tent? No. So, in this case, there was no building to lease, except you want to go online with rats and rodents and whatever it is. Well, Uncle could have gone there because Uncle would know how to communicate with that, but not us. So you are entering into an agreement, and I'm repeating myself, where the developer will build a state-of-the-art building. He's going to put in air condition, air vac system to keep the air clean. He's going to put the parking areas, the landscaping. He's going to be doing it. He's going to be dealing with the security. He's going to be dealing with the fire alarms, security alarms, maintenance of the building, the electricals, everything the developer is responsible for. And all you have to do as a government is to lease from it. So why? Why are you leasing? Here is the deal. You are leasing so that the government, that the developer can recover the monies that have been spent to put up this property and for its maintenance. That's what the lease is for, you know. So it saves you from going to a bank or any institution to get a loan. It saves you from having to supervise another project that might run into cost overrun. Well, we know one government was known back in the days, Mr. Kenny Anthony, my stepfather, almost threw the television in the Dennery Sea. Every time he put on the TV, you see Anthony, he get mad. Cost overrun, we used to call him. Every project at the time was a cost overrun. This St. Jude, that pass overrun, we are still to develop a name for that St. Jude Hospital there. That pass cost overrun now. I don't know what to call it right now. We'll get a name for it soon. But back in the days, Kenny Anthony administration was known as the cost overrun government. Everything was needed more money. Millions of dollars more. But here's a property, friends, that the government did not have to get involved in when it comes to construction and everything else. All the government have to do now, Miss Virginia and Uncle Tommy, is to take your bags, your papers, your computers, and walk into the building and go into your office, go into your room, walk with your lunch. If Stephenson King office is going to be there, he will need a bed and a whole kitchen up there. And a butcher. Because you need a lot of meat. Let's go on. Yes. Back to the government. After 15 years, friends, what do you want again? When you take a mortgage is what, 32 years? 32 years mortgage you take. 20-year mortgage. That's what you do when you take a mortgage on your home. It takes you that long to pay off the mortgage. And here's the government just have to give whatever a month. I had it a while ago, you know, but I lose it. All the government have to do is to pay for the space that they're renting, is to pay their lease agreement monthly, whether it's $2 something a month. Because they would have been spending that type of money out there and more, $7 a square foot. And you're telling me, friends, that this is a bad deal? St. Lucians, think about how these guys are malmening your Seville. misleading you all with false, with pieces of information. Somebody call it half truth, and again I say it is not half truth because it is done with the intention of not bringing clarity to your mind. And I stand by that statement. Huh? Look at this. Look at this now, brethren. You know what these guys will do when this is completed? They're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. And all the star boys, including Uncle Johnny, is going to stand and say, we as a government came into the reins of government, and this was a project of great magnitude. It is a project that we have never seen in the history of St. Lucia. My government is proud today to open one of the biggest facility in the island of St. Lucia, most what word this we call it? Most modern building in St. Lucia. We as the SLP government deliver another promise to you, putting you first. Guess where Mr. Shasney is going to be? Bradley and the government senators. They'll be on Facebook watching the opening of the Orange Grove Plaza. Mem Plaza House have. You think they would call Shasney and say, you know, Shasney, we're not going today, you know, because we said too much bad things about it. You and Fede. And Miss Polius, y'all go. It's your project, go. You think they will do that? You go and open it on behalf of us, it's going to look bad. Brethren, I look so forward to this deal. And you know, Mr. Shasney, I like you because look at when you sign it. Because you know them fellas so good that you did not leave anything for chance. You sign, you put this in play right away. You did that, sir. You did that. You locked it in quickly. And today we are proud. The government of St. Lucia will dedicate this building as a success story for the people of St. Lucia. Uncle is going to be there. Poutier, moi vle we fijay Uncle Monsieur. The glitter in his eyes, excitement. And I'm sure Uncle will be saying, Mr. Prime Minister, give me an office up there now. Put my office up there now. I like the building. It's nice. Put mine up there. All government ministers fighting. Put mine too. Put mine 3. Give me a piece of the pie. It's close to my house. I don't have to drive through the traffic to come to Castries. Let them drive to us. We have enough parking for them. But I live across the road. I can go home for lunch every day. Mr. Prime Minister, please put us in Mr. Shasney's. I'm going to get a name for this. It got to be the Honorable Alan Shasney's Plaza. Anyway, Roro Kila, Mom, go to top Roro. But folks, the end of the deal is that the developer will transfer the property after 15 years back to the government of St. Lucia. It becomes your property. It becomes my property. It becomes the people of St. Lucia's property. Folks, I want you to celebrate. I want you to be proud of this great achievement. From an eyesore to a blessing. To a blessing. This looked like a federal court building. It looked like a federal building in the United States. This. Like a federal building. And I wish we can have like 3 or 4 more of these buildings where you have only government services in them. Let us stop renting from all over the place. Can you imagine the government? Every corner you go, a little 2-bedroom office. When 5 people go in, the rest have to stand outside. Everywhere you go, a little ministry of something there, a courthouse over there, one over there, this one there. Mold infection, host of the problems. They can't do passport, mold infection. They can't do things, the people not happy in the conditions that they work in. If we can have 4 more of these buildings in St. Lucia, strategically placed. And let me tell you something, the curse of John Compton when he built those waterfront buildings, and all of them sit up there with their big belly in those buildings enjoying it. It was his vision. And we need 4 more of those buildings to house all our government buildings. Just 4 more. Like the Dyer Mall. 4 more. And we will save money. We will have our own buildings where you can walk in and not be in the cold to get a passport. You can get into this place, man, where everybody is seated in air condition with your little water fountain there and you're watching your little TV so you're not getting bored. But no probably NBC or the dust buildings are. We don't want NBC on any of our televisions in any of those 4 buildings that we will build. I prefer you all to put Young and Restless and Bold and Beautiful. Kide someone watch soaps instead of watching Magi. But we got to move on from the Dyer Mall. But it's a good deal, folks. It's a good deal. Don't let nobody fool you. It's a good deal. And if you have any questions, ask Mr. Shastney. If you have, ask Guy. Any question, ask any one of the leaders. Read the document carefully. But it is time for you, with all the information at our fingertip, it's time for us to reason for ourselves. It is time for us, and don't tell me you're not educated. You can educate yourself. Read. Even though you do like KKRR, pronounce the word wrong, you go correct yourself, of course. Read, man. You go correct yourself. You would realize the word, it makes sense. And you'll go back over and fix it. Yes. Read, man. Force yourself. Read. Inform yourself. So when these people come and they tell you nonsense, untruths, lies, you can already determine in your mind and say, look, that's not what I read. That's not what I read. So everybody malmeaning your several friends. Come on. Anyway, let's flush all the nonsense that they have said about this mall. And I declare to you that this mall will be ready soon. This building would be the most readied building.
Welcome to Caribbean American News.
This building will be the most readied building. For all those who opposed it, they will walk in. But I almost wish the first that the air condition don't work so they can feel the heat. But it's our building. We got to nice it up, keep the air condition running. Even though we have a lot of fat to melt when they go in there. But what can I say, folks? So listen, it's our building. Be proud of it. When you see it, look across with pride, knowing that it is the vision of the United Workers' Party, and celebrate it. Take pictures next to it, in it, by it, around it. It is your property, and that's what I give to you, friends. The Dyer Mall drama has come to an end. Another win for the United Workers' Party and the people of St. Lucia. Cheers to everyone. On the day of the opening, we will have our own celebration right here on the platform. Look at here too. Our own celebration right here on Caribbean American News Media. When you're back, I have something to show you all. Wait till don't go yet. Where you all going? Some of you too old to make babies. Stop it. Stick with me. No time for the flesh. Wait till okay. I get in a call. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media.
Good evening, Brother Garfield and everyone in the forum. How are you guys doing?
I enjoyed myself,
Well, yes, you're sure you on fire as usual. You're on fire.
I'm real fire because I feel hot.
Yes, I am. I'm very happy that today we can see this Dyer Mall, which was falling apart, infested with rats and bats, etc. that we can see this place coming to life, and knowing that it is going to end up belonging to St. Lucia after 15 years. This is one of the best deals we could have done here in St. Lucia. Now, with everything that they're saying, I'll make a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
The Dial Mall was falling apart, and I'm telling you, falling apart. It was an eyesore. And one man had a vision and saw that, hey, if I can get someone to develop this and end up owning this, and the government and the St. Lucia ends up owning this, this would be just so beautiful, and I can house all these government buildings, because, I mean, all the past prime ministers did not see it fit to take care, maintain the buildings that Sir John worked so hard for.
Yeah.
That he put all into. There's no maintenance, and there's always some sort of mold, bad air. The employees are always ill.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one person who said that, listen, if we can move some government offices in there, then we can probably do some refurbishments with the buildings that we have now.
Yeah.
And get our people back into those buildings.
That's right.
And rather than in all these little holes, like you call it, the 2-bedroom apartments in Castries and stuff like that. Anyway, the passport office has been having a problem.
Oh my God!
I know it's being discussed. I know it's being discussed. However, what is not being told to St. Lucians is that there's actually a strike.
There is a strike, yes.
Okay, the employees do not want to go in there. They do not want to work. And even if they call them back into work, they do not want to work. So no matter what happens, we'll have a problem with the passport office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is only because of conditions that people are... I'm sorry, I'm coughing.
That's okay.
Excuse me.
Take your time.
It's only because of the bad conditions and a half-past office that the employees are so disgruntled.
Yep.
So as you say, maybe Virginia Poyet will go to Philip J. Pierre and ask that she goes into Chasney's building.
That would be an embarrassment.
Move her office into Chasney's building, the same building that Uncle, now we say Uncle with, so-called Uncle, has badmouthed so much, always giving half a story and not the full story.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Virginia Poyet will say, okay, enough with this passport office saga in St. Lucia. Let me do something where the employees of the passport office and Miss Poyet take into consideration that these our passports are our travel documents. Yeah. So, of course, if the employees are not happy, a lot of us are not going to be able to travel. There might be a lot of errors on our passports, etc. So right. Please get these people into a place where they can function properly. So I suggest, Ms. Poyet, you go to Mr. Chasney's visionary building. Now, let us compare Mr. Chasney's deal to that of our ports. They want to give our ports to a foreign company to come in 2 of our ports, St. Lucia.
Yeah, no, that's a bad deal.
For $47 million. Again, we go in jumbie prices, just like we did the land in Banans. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the ports. Our ports are fine. It needs refurbishing. But it's not falling apart. It's not rat infested. It's not rat infested.
No.
It is functioning. We go there, we get our goods, It's making us a lot of money every year.
Yep.
I mean, wow. St. Lucia is literally gaining a lot of money from the ANC Ports Authority. They are rich. They've got a lot of money. They've got billions of dollars. Now you're telling me you're going to give our ports up for $47 million when our ports can be done by us. We can refurbish our ports, but you will give it for $47 million. And two ports of that, Castries and Soufrière. And you're going to lease it a long lease like it's sold for 30 years? For 30 years? Mr. Mr. Pierre, Uncle, and y'all are there talking about a building that was rat infested that will come back, that will come back to St. Lucians in short term when you're giving all two of our ports up for $47 million for 30 years. Listen, we have this building in 15 years. Minus, I should say, the ground floor, because of the developer has put in so much money and has done all of this work, the ground floor will belong to the developer.
Yeah.
We have this building. We were paid $13 million for the falling down, mash up, broken up building. We were actually given $13 million from the developer, and the developer has gone on and done all of this work. And we will own it in 15 years. Yep. Our ports, however, are not broken up. And Solutions, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. We cannot let this deal with our ports go through simply because of the amount of money Solutions is going to lose. Simply because of the amount of money St. Lucia that is going to be taken out of St. Lucia by a foreign entity. So, I call for petitions. I call for a march, I know, in good time. I call for people to speak up against what is going on in this country. And I call for it pronto. I know a lot of people, and I'll move on to jazz. I know a lot of people went to jazz and they enjoyed it. I know thousands and thousands of persons were given free tickets. Because, of course, these tickets were not going to be sold.
No.
So, obviously, jazz would have looked like a failure. The government had no choice but to give it to people in all the outer districts everywhere, which is good solutions. They should have just given us a free jazz festival, you know. However, because they're so deceitful, to make the jazz look it was a success. It was well attended, There were lots of problems with the jazz festival anyway, and that I will not even go into. What I will go into is that the government has used in excess of $8 million, and they've taken that money and injected it into jazz, my people. And I'm not against jazz. I love jazz. However, they have us paying $17 per gallon of fuel at the pumps up to a day like today. Almost a year after the price of oil per gallon has went down on the world's market. They have us up to a day like today paying $17. Remember when we were complaining for the $13 and some cents that Chasney had us paying?
Yep.
And because we were collecting $1.50 for our road development, which solutions you saw happening. You saw happening. Now they are collecting in excess of about $4. Okay, let's say about $4. And we're not seeing anything. Instead, we're seeing Philip J. Pierre doing a road to nowhere. He said it in the House, you know. A road to nowhere. So you go and you develop Pigeon Point. You do over Pigeon Point Road on the back road from Grosley to Landings just to accommodate the jazz festival.
Yep.
So we solutions are not people.
Hold a minute.
We're not people.
Sorry. I'm not. You're on a serious point, but somebody's keep writing My friend Cooley James keep writing some stuff and it's cracking me up. I'm sorry. She said that we should call him Uncle or Conqueror. Or Uncle
Maybe we should
Penis.
say Conkle. Yeah, let's say Conkle. Because Conkle is very close to Uncle.
My viewers are the best.
For it.
Listen, my callers are the best.
Really
Uncle
good.
or Conquerors or
I
Uncle
love
Penis.
that. Conkle. We'll go Conkle. No more Uncle for him, okay? We'll call him Conkle. So, so funny. So, pay attention to these solutions that we are not getting anything that we are paying for. The government collected in excess. $70 million was picked up off the taxpayers' backs. That is $70 million clear of what they should have picked up in taxes for the last year. 1 year, guys. $70 million. And instead of putting it back into getting fuel cheaper, I mean, a carton of Tang is $101.
Yeah. Yep.
$101 for powdered juice. Yep.
And that thing, I believe that thing might
juice
be $9
in powder form.
Yeah.
And this, yes, it is about $8 and some cents in the US.
Yeah.
Not even a full $9.
No.
Okay? $101. Where is the Minister of Commerce? Commerce. Has she taken early retirement or something? Sorry. Has she retired a second time?
I don't really hear from her,
Where is she? We are paying. Groceries are going up every few days in Massey stores.
Yep.
Something needs to be done about this. And we have a Minister of Commerce, and may I add, Commerce, who will not clean up the mess in St. Lucia with our groceries. We can go to Barbados and we can fly to Barbados, purchase our groceries, come back, and our ticket and the groceries that we've shopped for will be cheaper than buying groceries at Massey.
Yeah.
We would save money.
Yep.
So we need to call on these people. And I'm going to talk about medical. That $8 million, St. Lucia's, they've collected 70. They can still do it. So I think we should call on them to inject some monies into the take down the fuel prices, because there's no need to have us paying $17 in gas prices anymore, or to be paying so much, double the amount for cooking gas.
That's right.
$45 for cooking gas, $44 for 22-pound cylinder of cooking gas. Down the price of cooking gas, because this went down on the world market almost 1 year ago.
Yes, that's right.
That's true. The price of groceries, we need the Minister of Commerce to come in, step in and tell Massey it ain't working. It is not working for St. Lucians.
But nobody is speaking
on
behalf of the consumers. There is no body, there is no organization, nobody is fighting on behalf of these people.
We have a Ministry of Commerce. And I say commerce because I don't know where Emma Hippolyte has gone.
Yep.
She's getting paid a salary, guys, to work for St. Lucians. So we need this done. That's three. Our medical, Philip J. P., instead of taking $8 million and pushing it in a jazz festival that we have made no monies on. St. Lucia is not making any money back on this jazz festival. You better believe it.
Yeah.
Instead of taking part of that $8 million and pushing it into finishing one of the buildings that Chasney started, the new St. Jude's, and trying to do something to move the people out of the falling down. And I say falling down, this is going to collapse. I am not asking for it. God forbid it happening. But this stadium is going to fall on the people.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Honestly, I'm afraid. You're right. You're right. I'm afraid of that thing.
We need to get people out of this thing.
Yeah, we got to do it.
And put them in a safe place. You will take $8 million out of our $17 million, Philip J. Pierre, the excess that you collected. Put it in just, but not look after our medical. And on top of that, you come here and charge us 2.5% tax.
Somebody said she might be planting marijuana in the hills.
Well, we should go and plant marijuana in Sufred too. We should all go planting on her land.
My people are ridiculous. I tell you.
Marijuana. She might be smoking it too. Anyway,
I don't know.
So, Brother Garfield, everybody on the forum, those persons who are going to be listening to the show afterwards, we need to do something about what is going on in this country because it is not getting better. And if we don't stand up and we give it 2 more months, we are going to be in a worse place because if we look at the trend, every few months, it gets worse. Nothing has been done in St. Lucia. Nothing. Sorry, Brother Garfield, I didn't hear that.
No, I heard that the prices are changing every week. Every week is a different price.
No, but I'm not going to tell a lie about it. Every single week, the price of groceries is going up. The price of groceries. I mean, guys, not even real juicer. Tang, $101.
Kool-Aid.
Something we were paying a few cents for.
The Labour Party favorite drink, Kool-Aid.
Change for.
Yeah.
So it's Kool-Aid and Concord? Huh? That's what we're supposed to. We're supposed to eat Concords, right? Concords we're supposed to go and buy to eat. Now, having said all of this, I am very happy, and there's more that I need to say, because there's so much more, but I can't badger people too much. I just want people to know we need to stand up to this. We need to stand up to this so-called government. This is not a government for us, the people of St. Lucia. This is a government for their friends, their family, and what's the other F?
Jabals.
They're fam. Yeah, they're fam. They're women. Fam. Yes, that is the government. And they spoke of Shasney as being FFS. These people ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yep.
They have to be ashamed of themselves. We in a country that we can barely eat. And we are paying taxes so high. Guys, we're not paying that 2.5% tax that Philip J. Pierre wants to impose on us.
That thing is coming soon.
We are going to have to start yet another petition. We have to all sign this. We have to do this online and do it really quickly so that this thing is not going to be implemented.
Yeah.
Because we cannot afford to give Philip J. Pierre an extra 2.5% in tax. He's just bringing tax back up to 15%.
Yeah, that's the intention.
In what he thinks is a smart way. Yeah. But we are not stupid.
Yeah.
We're not stupid. So we need to get up. We need to get up. We need to start moving, people. We need to start moving. And one more thing.
Talk to me.
I heard Concours, right? Say, I heard it on his show. We have a surprise for him. Yeah, he doesn't. We have a surprise. You think we can have him outside the house if we have to take him to the privileges committee?
Yep.
He said it.
He
said it. So, is your plan to bring now real Uncle Shaf back into the house to take him to the privileges committee? St. Lucians, we have to go out there on that day. And they have to hear our feet we're not even making noise. They have to hear our feet marching on the street.
Yeah.
And we have to shake those buildings with our feet. We ain't making noise with our feet. That's how many of us are going to be out there. You better get ready for it. Don't shy away. Don't stay away. Even if you can just come do that walk and leave, no problem. No problem. But it has to be done. We have to send a message to these people sitting in our House of Parliament to let them know that you guys are put there to work in the best interest of St. Lucians.
Yeah.
St. Lucians, for us, you are not put there to work in the best interest of your political pundits.
That's true. That's true.
It's for us.
So
at the end of the day, people get ready. We have to sign a petition. May I add, I think there's a letter going around on Facebook.
We have a petition. We have a petition at change.org.
There's a petition as well.
Yeah, we want to get it up to 1,005. We want to get it up to 1,005 tonight.
Yes, I hope people let us all sign this petition, and we'll have a few going around because we need to do certain things by a certain time.
And you know, y'all are not doing.
We cannot let them.
The UWP, sorry, they're not doing what the UWP. They're not doing what. They're not doing nothing that the Labour Party has not done, because the Labour Party, anytime they're in opposition, they always call for somebody to resign or to be removed. The first person they wanted to be removed was Stephenson King. The second person was Richard Frederick. They wanted both of them to be removed, and now they're in their cabinet. So you are not doing anything by calling for someone to resign or to step aside because they're incompetent or some.
That's right, and they're costing us money.
Yeah.
They're costing. We are paying money on behalf of Claudius Francis, and they're bringing in a 2.5% extra tax on us. Groceries are sky high, so the government is picking up twice and 3 and 4 times the amount of VAT.
But let me ask you, did they explain to us on what items they're going to put this 2.5%? Were we told? No?
I heard Philip JPS say it will not be on food like groceries, and it will not be on medical, and there was something else, but those two I remember clearly.
But what is it going to be? Just tell us. He's telling us what is not going to be on.
He has not said, but as far as I am concerned, as a citizen of St. Lucia, right, who will speak on behalf, because my voice is heard. My face may not be seen, but my voice is heard, and I will continue to speak. What we should do is not allow Philip J. Pierre to implement that 2.5% VAT on us, tax on us, because we know that he collected in excess of $70 million with all the high prices that he has paying in goods and services in this country.
Right, so there's
no need for him to put any more.
There's no need for any taxes
on us.
Yeah, there's no need for that. Absolutely no
need.
And
instead of using that $70 million back into the people of St. Lucia, he has used $8 million plus of that dollars in effect that gives St. Lucia back no money. Absolutely no money. We barely had any foreigners here, you know. We had 5 flights, I think, coming in.
That's what I heard.
5 flights. So we barely had any foreigners there. Yes, there were St. Lucians who came home. So I'm not going to lie about that. But to say we had the British and we had the Americans and people from France and stuff coming in here, no, we did not. We didn't. That's why they had to give away so many free tickets, because there was no one to buy those tickets. So St. Lucia has lost $8 million for nothing.
I heard the clown who fell off the chair live on Facebook got a few tickets too.
Well, the clown would have, maybe he got a ticket to fly from the U.S. to...
The clown better known as
to
Teresa.
St. Lucia and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teresa must have gotten a ticket, a flight ticket too, because Teresa just talks a lot of rubbish
Yeah, rubbish.
to
Yeah.
people on social media without
Yeah.
without having any shame. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, these days I just leave them to talking their rubbish, because what we must do, yes, we have to debunk these people. We must do it. According to you, debounce them,
You
or
have to,
people,
yeah,
we
the
have to
bounce.
debounce
You
these
have to the
people.
bouncy and bring everything back to normalcy.
However, we do have to debunk them. However, we need to stay focused on what is affecting us and the issues that solutions are faced with. And we not only watching it, we need to do something collectively about it. And that's when I say stay focused. Let us get together, and I'm not I think I've begged and I've called and I know we'll have a march. But in the way of petitions, we can petition this government not to impose that 2.5% tax. We can petition this government to reduce the price of fuel that has gone down by half the cost per barrel. Almost a year ago. Sorry, we can ask the Ministry of Commerce, and by extension the government, to look at the cost of groceries, because we are paying the highest price for groceries in the Eastern Caribbean, maybe
true.
in the
St.
entire
Vincent used to be
Caribbean.
bad. The prices in St. Vincent used to be bad, but now I hear St. Lucia is the worst.
It's cheaper. St. Lucia is worse. Grenada is cheaper. Barbados is a lot cheaper. Trinidad is a lot cheaper than us.
We have
if
no.
you're charging, if
The
Matthew-
government is not. They're not
if Matthew
protecting
is
the
charging-
prices, man.
Listen to what's going on here. If Matthew is charging $20 for coffee, or let's say $40, because the big bottle is $40. 40 EC for coffee here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would be charging in Trinidad possibly maybe the $40 or $35. Now you know what that is. That is because $35 divided by 2, right? We're paying twice the amount, four times the amount that Trinidadians are paying for, because it's $1 to 2.
If you want to put the people first, you don't reduce on VAT on plywood. What you need to do is to reduce on food. You need to try to fix the food prices. That's the emergency right now. Not plywood.
We need food. We need to be able to cook the food. So we need the fuel to cook the food. Okay, people? We need to afford to buy the food, afford to buy the fuel, buy the cylinder of gas to cook the food. We need to be able to live in this country. We need medical. We need our medical to be up to scratch.
Yeah, you don't have much on St. Jude's.
We need them to attend to this right away.
Yeah.
We need them to attend it. Now, you just said something to me that registered, but I was thinking about medical. Could you repeat that again? Because there is something on that note that I needed to say.
I think I said that they're not saying anything about the St. Jude project. They're giving lip service. They're telling us that they are finished installing the fence. Everything is good now, and so they're going to start on the inside. But there is no
Imagine
gate.
fence before hospital. Fence before hospital. You take millions of dollars putting a fence, and you have no hospital, and your medical, the other hospitals you have, or the other medical units you have on island are suffering.
I tell you, them fellas are not normal. Are not monal.
Money's in a fence.
The books are per monal PS.
These people are they're monal. They're not normal.
They're not even monal because
not normal. They are monal.
Monal is close to normal. Your pamemla, they're not even there. Because how do you do a fence? Put all your emphasis on a fence on the outside.
You do the hospital.
Instead, you finish the inside. Get the inside done.
Later, you'll do the fence after the inside is complete.
Yeah.
After the inside is complete, then you'll do your fence.
And by the way, you listen to them and they
But
have
you're gonna
all
put
the
so much
experts on the
money-
side, you know.
I don't know where the experts came from, but I'm telling you, I am telling you, St. Lucia is falling apart. This SLP government, and I call them what they are because they're not a government for all, they're government for SLPs only. This SLP government is failing us at every juncture, and we need to get rid of these people as soon as possible. We need to make our demands as to what we need from this government. And I say what we need: lower costs for groceries, lower prices for fuel at the pumps and cooking gas, medical. We need medical in St. Lucia. These are necessities. And we are not paying any 2.5% tax in excess to an extra story tax to Philip J. Pierre and his Red Cabal, simply because this government has collected in excess of $70 million in a year off our backs. And people understand what in excess of is, because I think some people are not understanding. The money the government was budgeted to collect from taxes, they met that threshold. So we paid that as taxpayers. And in excess of that, they collected $70 million. And we don't know, they started putting it in jazz festival. They're not using that money to take care of us. It came from our pockets. He squeezed it out of us.
There's a big squeeze
It
coming.
needs to come back to the people.
Yeah. Anyway.
It needs to come back to the people.
Yeah. Anyway, caller, I have to go to the airport to drop some of my
You
family.
flying? I
no,
thought you were flying.
No, I'm flying on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay.
So, but
I understand.
Yeah.
So you have a good night. Great show as usual, Brother Garfield.
And great
Keep doing
call
what
as
you're doing.
usual.
Thank you for. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for debouncing. Yes. Thanks for debouncing Conkle.
Listen, man, I'm very mournful, you know, don't worry. Conkles.
Yes, thanks for debouncing him. We'll
And
continue doing this, guys, and look out for those petitions, because there will be more than one.
Yes.
I can assure you of that.
Okay.
Look out for them and sign them, St. Lucian. Sign them.
Sign them,
Whether
yes.
you SLP, UWP, or no P, sign those petitions. It is for all of us. It is not for a party. It is for people. For all of us people living in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Thank you, Brother Garfield.
Blessings.
Everybody have a good night, and you have a good night, Brother
Thank you,
Garfield.
my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Friends, that was our favorite caller. And now that we have debounced everything, we are going to have a beautiful night. But let me tell you, you see Cooley James, I'm going to block you, you know. You have me cracking up on this set over and over and over. She said, it's not fat, it's rat. But Cooley, you're not easy, man. I appreciate you so much, man. So is Uncle Cheese Curls. But listen to me, we have fun over here. At the same time, we share with you the information. We have a beautiful time, all right? So, folks, there's a lot more that we got to discuss, but we're not going to do it tonight on our next show. We will see how things go tomorrow. I have a lot going on here. And, folks, I have something to share with you. Wait, before we go. I got this document from Congress. Let me see if I can show you. I got this document from Congress. You see the seal? And what they have done is they have copyrighted our broadcast. So this broadcast, Caribbean American Media, all our materials, all our shows are copyrighted by the United States Congress. So anybody try to debunk our program, we can take them to court. We can challenge them based on our materials and everything else. So it's official now. Caribbean American News Media is copyrighted and by the Congress of the United States of America in Washington. You see the seal? Before they say I lie, I like to show the first. Yes, you see it? Yes. So that is official. I had it from last week, but I didn't have the time to show you. But we are going places. We are protected by legally. And we want to thank all of you who made our program. Cooley, you need to go and sleep. Stay here until 11:30 to do what? Why am I staying here until 11:30? I dummy. I put the dummy. Thank you, my friend Joycelyn Fletcher, Dr. Fletcher. I'm telling you, Dr. Fletcher when things was really bad, she helped me to stay the course, to stay focused, to keep the faith, to continue pressing. And her counsels were great. Her counsels, I'm telling you. And look at that. As a result of her counsel, look, we are registered. We are recognized by the United States government, and I want to thank all of you who stayed the course. Those of you on YouTube, we had over 100 viewers today, and our Facebook channel. Thank you so much, all of you. I really appreciate you, and we'll continue to keep the information coming. We'll continue, and by the way, it gets even better because officially we will be bringing to you a lot of these documents and information that you need to know about. We will look for them. We'll find them. We'll bring them to you. Yes, Mom, sorry. Let me correct myself before I get spanked at 10 o'clock, get spanked at 10 o'clock in the night. I don't like to sleep with tears, So, Mom, sorry, I apologize. I take it back. Next thing, Mom and my friend Cooley come and give me some good solution spanking. Mom, Uncle that need the spanking. Uncle Conquerors. But, folks, there's a petition going around for Claudius Francis must resign as Speaker of St. Lucia's Parliament. It has 856 signed petitions. You don't have to put money or anything. You can just sign up. You can skip some of the stuff that are required, but you sign those petitions are very important. But they're very important. This petition, you must do it. It must be filled out, all right? So please get involved. You can get involved. Yes, my friend Rika, Sylvia, thank you so much, you and your husband. God bless you all. Reverend, I can't call all your names, but you guys have been a blessing. Teresa, God bless all of you. But Cooley James, I'll have to put you anyway. I can't beat you up. I can't beat you up because Mom will not deal with me nicely in our next discussion. So blessings, folks. See you when I see you. But I will be in Georgia for my graduation, and I look forward to it. I've done a lot of work throughout the years, and this is the time. This is the time. This is the moment. Let's get to work. Let's keep working, friends. What I can tell you, and by the way, let's congratulate our friend again. Let's congratulate Guy Joseph, because this was something I believe that he had to do. Let's congratulate him, friends. Congratulations once again to the Honorable Guy Joseph. When they bring you all before the court, your own SLP judges want to get rid of you all, so they sided with us. My man, I say what I say. And I say what I say. You all can't come for me. But I'm telling you, friends. Thank you, Auntie. Mom. Thank you. So, Guy Joseph, congratulations to you, my brother. My brother, congratulations. Congratulations. Yes. Let's get to court. Sorry, let's get to work. Let's get to court. Man in Apple Court. I heard that there was a shooting. There was a shooting in Dennery. I had to That's something that I had to broadcast today. There was a shooting in Dennery, I believe, sometime while we were on the air. I am not sure of any more information, but we'll continue to follow that breaking news. This weekend was a deadly one with violence, and we continue to pray for the nation, the country of St. Lucia. Guy, you did it, my brother. You did it. You did it. I mean, this will be all the corruption, all the corrupt they call you and volley they call you. You gotta pay police one by one. Eh? NBC Egg Miguel, your day I pay for tout moun. Who bet a silencer there, you brother? Mama, guy. Manger pour mem. I would love you. I would not hate you. Yes, man. So, brethren, let's get to work. Don't worry about anything. I say to you, as long as you're on righteousness, the side of righteousness, you have nothing to fear. As long as you do what is right, you do your best, and you have good intentions, your heart, it's pure. Let me tell you, God will protect you, vindicate your name among the people. He will vindicate his name among the people. And that's God. He's God all by himself. So that's why I always say to people, stay on the right track. You might fall off at times. Get back on. Stay on track. A righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets up. He picks himself up by the grace of God, and he moves forward. He press, like Paul says, I press towards the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus. Don't let anything defeat you. Don't let anyone defeat you. You have a purpose. You just stand on that purpose. Dare to have a purpose. Dare to make it known. Stand on that purpose and press, my friends. Don't let anything or anybody throw you off. God, throw you off your game. You hear me? Don't let nobody do that. Good night, folks. Good night. Good night. Good night. Something is happening to the set, so I have to cool it off. I must cool it off. I don't know what happened, what went on there, but the set just went bazooka on me before I shut down the system. So I don't know what went wrong there, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me, honestly. But folks, yeah, see you when I see you. Love you all, guys. Congratulations again to the Honorable Guy Joseph. And one thing, Guy, some of the money Miguel going to give you an NBC. They say some things about me too, so you have to share, you know. Yeah, man, you got to share. NBC, how y'all doing over there? Y'all all right? Yeah, man. Yes, man. Y'all okay? Bye, friends. See you all. Hi, NBC. How are you? You have a morning show tomorrow? Get enough sponsors. We need some money. Y'all are going to finance. Y'all are going to finance Guy campaign. Yeah. Why me? Oh, Lord, what have I ever done? Y'all go to finance the man campaigns up after that. You have a teaser of a y'all financing this campaign. Ma'am, call my name, please. Please call my name. I need money for campaign. Please call my name. Oh, somebody call in my name. NBC, call my name, please. I beg you. I can sell the spelling for y'all. Please call it. Yes, man. Because you know, once we go to court, we winning. No bad. Good night. Goodbye. Domi BMSC, remember to pray before you all go to bed. All right? Blessings. Good night, oh.